What's up, guys? We're gonna have a look at the markets today. We're gonna have a look at NAS, and we're gonna have a look at GBP JPY. Maybe a quick squiz at EURUSD as well. So we just kind of want to see. Let's start seeing as we have the chart open. Let's start with GBP JPY. What was it? How many? Yeah, it's quite a while, quite a few days of waiting for the pullback downside. It eventually came down, right? It was possibly like something like a week for the pullback downside. So what we see is we're still very much in a bullish trajectory on GBP JPY with the pullback coming into play now. So if we looked at this like in a perspective of being bullish, like overall bullish, right? What that would look like is, so guys, this isn't going to be a long video today. What that would look like is the market could come down, like as I suspected, come down to this level here now. It just happens to coincide with the 50 level. If we take it from this swing low to the swing high up here, we just happen to coincide with the 50 level of the Fibonacci, or we can come down into this rectangle that I had here that I showed before, right? So we just have to wait and see. We also see we're at the 38.2 as well. So because we closed below the 8 MA, my suspicion is that we'll probably do something like this here, right? We'll pull up a little bit, nick it, and then fall down and shoot up from here. That's one. Or we'll fall down all the way into the 61.8 level and then continue upside, right? So what ideally would you be looking for if you want to take a buy on here, right? What would you be looking for? So we have our two levels. I'm just going to use the bottom of my rectangle as my level, right? So because this line should actually be up here, right? That's what it should look like. So we can use the dashed line as my 50 and the green section of my rectangle for my 61.8. Right, so I'm only going to take it into based off those two areas for now because it's the more convincing areas, right? So should we come into, let's say, the 4-hour chart now, right? Should we come into this level? As you guys can see here, you see the market starts falling, right? We tried twice to come in, so let's just have a quick look at our RSI, right? We look, we see there's a lot of divergences taking place here, right? So here I tried to form the elbow that would have confirmed the bullish divergence, and it failed, right? So what are we going to look for now? So we're going to look for, guys, there are realistically for scalpers, there are cells in this grid here. I'm not going to take them. That's a waste of time for me personally and the way I trade. So I'm going to do the buy sentiment first, right? So we're going to have a look at the buy. We're going to go here. If we jump off the 50, we put the 50 level there. And we'll put our stop loss on the 61.8, right? And then what we'll do is we'll chase the previous high. Let me just quickly scroll to daily to see if I'm in the right area. Yeah, more or less in the right area. Then we'll chase that first, right? The reason why I put it at the 61.8 is because I would rather get taken out for a few pips down this way. How many pips is this? Let's just check. I'd rather be taken out for that 98 pips. I mean, guys, like realistically 98 pips versus, remember, you just need to practice your lots. I'm taking it on a high time frame, so 4 hour for 450 pips. That's phenomenal, honestly, right? We could go even tighter if we get a confirmation. So if we get the confirmation, right, and the market manages to rally upside above this rectangle, you could just move your stop loss in. So you just have to kind of manage your risk. That's the important thing. Manage your risk, guys, right? If we jump off to 61.8, what I would do is I would do something like this, right? Which is actually the one I would ideally like to get. So just below this little range over here, put it over there, right? And put it just below, something like that. So similar risk to reward. But in this instance, what we're getting is a decent 550 pips. And probably like 100 pip stop loss or something like that. Yeah, 130 pip stop loss. But I mean, we're not going to, for me, I will take the whole thing like this, simply because I would be taking this on a smaller lot, because it's on a 4-hour chart. For that amount of pips, I would actually just run maybe like a 0.03 And then on a lower time frame, what I would do is I would take, like, say for instance a 1 hour, then I'd catch another entry off the confirmation upside again if it bounced off this area, right? What I'd do is I'd take another one here and then I'll take a bigger lot. You know, wait for a test of this mid level here to confirm that we're going to actually rally up bullish and then get in. But be careful of this area here, guys. Be careful of this green line here. We could stay in there and fall down as well, right? So it's just something to keep in mind, right? So that would be my two buy sentiments, right? For sell sentiment, what we look for is, right, I won't take the sells inside of here. I don't think. For scalping, yes, maybe, and if you do want those, I can share them in a later stage with you guys. For sells, I would actually consider getting in after this area here, right? As you can see, there's an imbalance sitting at the bottom here. This is actually from the daily or the weekly chart down here, right? So if we can get below this area, or even just confirm, yeah, if we could break below this here, I would consider taking a sell from here. This would be the less conservative entry, right? But the risk reward is so much better in this instance. I'd do something like that, right? And target this area first. I'm chase this order block here on the left, right? If you are cheeky enough, right, and you see a break into this order block and into this imbalance area here, you can run it to the mid level of the imbalance, which should be right here, or you can run it all the way through for the imbalance to be filled, right? I will more than likely run this one all the way through, and then once I get there, I'll just move my stop down, you know, like stop the entry and kind of just run the trade in profits. It's totally dependent on you guys and what you want to do. So let's just quickly back that to where we were, right? So if you pass this area, right? If you pass this area, don't wait for like a confirmed it. Just pass the area and let the area be passed comfortably, right? So you kind of just want to be away from that area. Once you have clear closed candlestick bodies on the side of it, then you can get in and kind of just be running that trade. Move at the very least, move your stop to entry, close of partials down here. Guys, because this is a 4-hour chart, right? Most people would chase just that amount even. I mean, that's 100 pips clean. Once you get there, you could even close the trade depending on what lot size you use. I even want to chase the whole move once the entry shows itself. Now, the reason why I want to do that is because the less you trade, the more profitable you'll become. I tend to trade GBP Jpy when I don't see convincing setups long term on the Nasdaq, right? So that's kind of my idea for now on GBP Jpy. For a conservative trader, let me just give you quickly a more structured entry. You could take it from there. You could run it till here, or you could run it till there, till the mid level, and then run it through. Up to you. But that would be your entry just below this little range here. So it would be something like here. It's not that bad. It's still well over 100 pips, right? So that's what you'd kind of look for on GBP Jpy. What I find is that this is very nice to trade on either a 4-hour or a 15-minute chart. I don't tend not to trade it on a 1-hour or 30-minute. Like I'll trade it on a 15-minute or 4-hour chart. Yeah. Then we want to have a look at the Nasdaq. Man, this thing only played straight into our hands, guys. Straight. Or the analysis I shared last week. If you guys followed that analysis, man, you should be neck deep in profits by now, right? We see the sell that I called out is valid still, but now we have extremely aggressive moves to the downside. So what I want to do is, I want to actually catch this imbalance here. Here's an imbalance on the daily chart here, right? Here's an imbalance here. Right, and what I want you guys to take note of is, let me just remove this quicker. No, it's added again. What I want you guys to take note of is, take note of this mid-level here. Right? That's a sentiment for this imbalance that's up here. So what I do want to see on the Nasdaq is, so I'm going to tell you what I want to see, and then I'm going to tell you what my suspicions are in terms of that. So the market will open, rally upside, nick the 8 MA, and then fall at some course, and then fall, right? Or that's what I suspect. Or what will happen is the next candle will have this will be the third candle, and there'll be an imbalance in the center here. So that new candle that opens up, right, will just literally fall, touch that thing, and start shooting upside. Right? So now let's look at what that looks like for us in terms of taking trades. Right? So, sorry guys. So in terms of what we look for here, you know, what I would do is I will let this thing fall downside. Let me just go to the 4-hour chart quickly. I will let this thing, yeah, I'll let this thing fall downside. We're coming into chasing order blocks now. So it's got, here's an order block here, here, and here. This is the one more than likely that we're going to chase, but I'm waiting for a pullback of sorts. So what I'm looking for, right? So if you do this, just sorry quickly guys. Okay, I'm just going to do a new one because that's a little bit stupid of me. We do this. We do this area here. Yeah. Sorry guys if this voice is bad now, so I'm over today. So what we look for is I'm going to wait for a fall inside of this area because I suspect we'll pull back here. So what I'm going to do is long position inside of this order block. So let's say hypothetically we do it in the mid-level. We'll do a buy limit, a buy limit up here and run it all the way up into this area up here. Right, that would be my first buy. Right, I'm not going to take the sell from here unless we pull back, guys. So I'm going to run the buy limit just in case we fall first. Right, there'll be a buy limit set up here. So you could set this up regardless of what happens in the market, right? With a tight stop. So I mean, guys, like realistically speaking, right, you could do something like this, and that's like nothing. It's like absolutely nothing in comparison to what you're going to get if this thing does pull back. Be careful because that 8 must fall, so you could maybe lessen your take profit a little bit. Remember, guys, take profits are just guidelines, right? So I would do something like that, like a buy limit up that way, right? In order for me to take a sell, what I would do is I would say I want to pull back. So I would take a sell only once we come up into this vicinity here. So for the purposes of the video, what I'd like to do is just show you guys what I'm going to look for. So I ideally would do a sell limit from here, right? With a stop loss just around about there, all the way down into the order block, to the edge of the order block, right? To chase the previous low here to the left. Now, that's a solid amount of pips, guys. Let's see. Yeah, quite a bit, right? So what I'm looking for ideally is a pullback first. If I don't get that pullback, c'est la vie. We chase it, we wait for it to come down to the bottom of the order block, let it decide what it wants to do in the mid-level. Yeah, you see there's an order block there. Then we decide to see what it's going to do over here, and then we'll catch the buy upside, right? So overall, holistically, guys, I'm still bearish on Nasdaq. We might, like I said, we might get a pullback all the way up in here. If we just have a quick squeeze at the weekly, you see there's no wick there. Here we have a no wick here. 2 no wick closes, institutional involvement here. One thing I want you guys to take note of is now we still haven't formed any kind of divergence indicating the buy. So the chances of that sell coming through, right, pulling up now is minimal on a weekly. If we look at this, it might just fall down. So for those of you who want to take it, right, those of you who want to take a sell for the fall down, I would recommend doing it on a 15-minute chart, right? Wait for the market to see what your 8 MA does when the market opens up. Let the market pull up a little bit more. There will be a pullback of sorts here. You see bullish divergence here. Let me just item this thing quickly. You see bullish divergence here. The market will pull up again. It will nick that 50. And if it does nick the 50, right, you take the short position from here. Right? Even tighter. You take it from there and you run it all the way down. Right? So that would be like sell side of things, right? In terms of buying, I'm not even going to look NASA's way other than the buy limit that I shared with you guys now. Let's have a quick look at EURUSD, and then we'll have a quick look at the news as well. So EURUSD, my sell still going solid. We got a decent rejection there. It almost took me out. Sure, man. We got a decent rejection, continuing downside. Perfect. But if you just take your Fibonacci from here till here, till the swing low, guys, You can see I'm being quite conservative about what my take profit actually is. I mean, I got in from the top here. That's fine. That's all good and well. Got pulled back. Now I suspect we can come further. So just for the purposes of this video, what we want to look at is what can we look for now on the 4-hour chart. I'm going to do it on the 4-hour because I will only trade EURUSD on a high time frame. I tend not to trade it on a 15-minute time frame. So I'm just going to hide this one for now. Right? What you see here is we have the market pulled erratically upside. So what I suspect is that we're going to do something like this. Market will pull up again. Maybe come test the order block a bit. Right? Again, bang, and then fall. Let's see, there's an imbalance here, guys. So what you need to take into consideration is the market must come upward inside of here somewhere. So to either be in the center of it, on the top of it, or above it. But sooner or later, this imbalance will fall. Right? Then the market will fall downside. Right? So what I'm going to wait for is, what I would wait for, and this is only if I can catch it here. This would just be obviously for the DNT purposes. So we take a short here. I won't buy. Once again, I won't buy. I'll take it probably from the mid-level, put it just above the imbalance, and run it downside. Then what I'll do is, I'll come to my Fibonacci here. Okay? I'll take my Fib like this. Move it to the swing low. Right? Mark off this minus 27 area. Right? Go to the 4-hour chart. Remove my Fibonacci. Sorry guys if I feel like I'm over-explaining. Right? Do that buy limit. This would be target 1. Just the low from up. Do the sell limit, sorry, not buy limit. Target 1. Yeah. Right? Target 2. All the way down here. Right? So when you get to this level here, close off partials. Lock in your profits, guys. Vital that you lock in your profits. Solid. Right? So wait for the pullback upside. If you're not already in on the previous one, wait for the pullback upside and let the market close below this area. Once you hit here, guys, please close off partials at the very least and move your stop to entry. The reason I'm saying this is this market could literally do this now, come up all the way up again now, buy here, buy in here, nick it, and then shoot all the way back up. Right? That's something you need to take into account. Therefore, move your stop to entry or a little bit, even in a little bit of profits, and close off partial profits so that you can have more funds to trade if it does take you out eventually. I don't see any signs of this thing coming down right now, but that's what the setup should look like. Then we just want to have a quick look at the news. Alright, we'll have a look at the economic calendar. Right, so let's go. Is it this week? Yeah, so we're looking at quite a busy week for the USD markets, right? So we're looking at core durable goods, we're looking at consumer price confidence. This is soft data, so I don't really care too much about that. New home sales, pending home sales, crude inventories. Then we have this GDP Jpy. This is actually an important thing, guys. Thursday is the day that I'm gonna take the most note of charts. Thursday is a very crucial day for Nasdaq as well. These two things are going to determine a lot. Right? They're going to determine a lot, guys. This especially is going to determine a lot. GDP and initial jobless claims. Then, I mean, for the Canadian market, you have GDP as well, but I'm not going to pay too much attention to that because I don't really trade anything with regards to GDP there. Okay? So then that's that, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And without further ado, let's keep it moving more than average.